top there, trying to take Raul, I should say Aul, off the dribble.
Off the dribble. Embiid helping out that time on Rozier. Rozier will play a lot in the backcourt. Another guy of similar build, Devontae Graham, who's had a Zeller, unable to finish. Horford using some quickness that time on the rookie PJ Washington, continuing his indoctrination into NBA life. Horford could use a good game, struggled the last 2 games of that Western in his second season at 38%. Embiid and a foul this time.
Little 2-3 zone from the 76ers.
And they are D'ing it up. Neto, quite a play. 2 to shoot. Wow, and quick thinking that time by Harris, working it with Embiid. Nicely done by
Williams, a member of that 2005 championship team under Roy Williams.
Oh, by the way, Furkan. Sixers still right now in the midst of a 14-4 push. Harris helping out defensively. We can consider them a rival as well, because that's the G League affiliate of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
They view Friday at Denver. That's Trey Burke as the Sixers an opportunity to run off of a turnover, and that one is blocked. Burke on court. That was Saturday a week ago in Portland without his play, as you mentioned. Alla coming off the bench that's a play coming out of the time.
How good is he offensively? Doing it both, finishing and starting.
Burke on Korkmaz compliments
Other end of the floor. That he's got to have his trust.
that zone, attempting a 3. Final 90 seconds of the quarter. That is Devontae Graham. In another possession after this. Richardson perhaps thinking that. It is Burke for a 3. Got it! Obiama not expecting that. Sixers now an opportunity here. Burke for Ennis, who's able to slam for 2. Better in that category. Making plays for others is Embiid. Records the snuff. It triggers the Sixers into action. And Ennis is going to get a slam on consent. Friday at Denver. Serena, we thank you so much. Alla, there's a guy who went from lottery pick to playing in the G League as recently as January 2018. Biombo slammed a few moments ago. The Hornets had gone 8 straight trips without a bucket, so the Sixers D'ing it up here in the first. There is Ennis slapping. Embiid turning away from the double. Such a smart play by Embiid. First of all, Monk, 6'3", 200, again, third year from Kentucky. Zeller with position on Harris. Sixers try to foul him. Burke on Korkmaz. And there is Tobias Harris.
Raiders, but if you watched that Charger game the other night, there were penalties galore in that game too.
Zeller picking up his own miss. Walker was a real favorite in Charlotte. The applause and adulation was immense as Horford gets the slam. Compliment Korkmaz, who clearly has improved his defense. And he allows Raul Neto to make the steal. He's got a trailer. Horford, who had his back. Monk, it's for 3. Malik Monk just join us in honoring our nation's military tonight here at Wells Fargo Center. Here are the Hornets now out of the timeout and promptly delivering in the midst of a 9-2 push. Free agent deal as the backup to Kemba Walker last year decided to retire over the summer, but Graham has done beautifully. So is Joel Embiid.
Zeller learned his lesson. He didn't even leave the ground that time.
Embiid scrambling back. Good hustle to get Zeller. Gets a pair anyway.
No, and there's no need to it. And the problem with, there's a lot of problems with zone, but one of them is blocking out. Who do you block out?
He could be leading here at halftime. Zeller for 3. Wow. Beat against Zeller. Zeller, by the way, had 17 in the first half. That's Richardson hitting the 3.
Bacon will take some tough shots at times. That time, good defense from Jay Rich. Good pass.
Indeed. From Horford to the cutting. Rozier, you mentioned it earlier, Alla, the strange rhythm he has off the dribble.
His third year, the Louisville product.
Neto counters some resistance, feeds Embiid in rhythm for two.
Got no call there.
Another Sixer turnover. Rozier forcing his way to the hoop against Richardson. Sixers trying to shake free of the dregs. A tough 4-game Western trip. Tobias Harris with a tough 2 right there against Thing.
Absolutely. The cutter, if you cut hard and it's convincing, someone is going to have to pick you up. Don't get it a lot of the times. That doesn't mean you stop cutting. But I know what you mean. It's hard.
Count it, and a foul. That was past the halfway point of the third. Korkmaz, it's for 3. 10 for him, the 4th Sixer already in double figures.
Like he belongs. 2-3 zone by the Hornets.
Horford missing the 3. Ennis.
Wow.
And he'll do that. He'll crash.
Navy and Marine Corps was founded here in the city of Philadelphia. And to have all 5 professional sports teams come together.
That bench played oh so well Friday night in Denver. Burke had it blocked off the bench. It's 5 above his average. Nicely executed there. Burke on court.
You know what? He's coming along nicely. That time, because of the jumpers he's made earlier, they overplayed him. The back door was open on top.
Scott got it. Mike Scott hit it.
For a team.
Right.
Cody Zeller, too.
Bombs away. Wouldn't foul certain situations because they didn't want to pick up fouls.
Heck yeah. Absolutely. And those that have got wow.
But the whistle, the crew chief, Mark Davis, is silent. Here's Mike Scott just picking up some loose change. Embiid thinking 3. Burke got it, and a foul.
Yeah, they just don't use him as much as they used to. Remember how good he used to be?
Yeah. 11 minutes into the season. Broke a finger on his left hand. Player from France, Nick Batum.
I remember my first year working with you guys. I couldn't believe the rest of the league. He was just compact, efficient in his moves, and falling out of favor a little.
That's beautifully done. That's basketball, my friend. The defensive end. And offensively, I don't think there was ever a doubt, though. Playing time was inconsistent for a lot of reasons. He says, fella, you're the guy who's been shooting it lately. Why not take it? But Scott, you're right. Good three-point shooter did have it.
Spirited conversation. 76ers playing accordingly.
Scott for 3. And he connects. Mike Scott at 18. Zeller denied by Horford. However, that Mike Scott's parents and Josh Richardson's parents didn't take any junk.
No, and they were raised right. That's why when you interact with both of them as
a couple of minutes.
Well, we said at the top of the program, you asked the question, Mark, and I said there's no reason to panic. As we take a look at another shot from Rose.
Previous 4 did not play. You might recall right before the Sixers went on the road trip against Minnesota. Got a brief run as Ennis uncorks and hits the 3.
Another guy who hasn't played in quite a few games. Matisse Thybulle in there as well. On defense there.
PJ Washington. Joel Embiid, by the way, continues to stand along the baseline in support of some of the deep reserves as the Hornets here have made it with a lot more spry than he did at the end of the road trip. Sixers will break a 3-game losing streak. Their first win since a year ago yesterday, or a year ago. Seems like a year ago. A week ago.